Wow, 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 wow. What a blow to Barça, huh? Welcome, Madridistas. How are you all doing? The image is shocking. It's shocking, but now I'll explain why this isn't a penalty. They're protesting like crazy because they're not used to it. And why is this called a penalty in Spain? Because they say residual, that residual contact nonsense. This is a penalty in Spain. In Europe, it's not. Of course, because he already finished the play a while ago. Well, anyway, they're complaining there. Let them complain all they want, because in Europe, referees officiate differently. And there's something that bothered me, and it's that when Barça doesn't get eliminated, X, the former Twitter, crashes right away, at least for me. Well, I couldn't tweet. I mean, I didn't know what to do with my hands. I was like, what is this? They can't leave me like this with all the things I had to say. I figured I'd just make the video myself and say it here too, right? And so, well, that's it. Very nice, very nice. We've had a bit of everything. We've had Atleti's awful early choke, which was outrageous, just as we all imagined, and Englet's show, which was a poisoned gift from Barça. Well, they gave him a gift. Atleti bought him. Barca's center back was terrible. We knew he was going to mess up at some point, and sure enough, he did it once, he did it twice. In Barca's first two goals, he passed to the opponent in the first one, and in the second, well, he didn't play the offside trap correctly, and Ferran Torres scored. It wasn't enough for Barca. We thought it was. I said, this is going to be painless. I mean, it's going to be a 0-4 and go home. Hey, Lukman, the guy goes off script. He says, you guys must be Atleti fans. I'm not an Atleti fan. I come from Atalanta. My life is here. Me, don't even put the jersey on me. I only wear it because I have to, says Lukman, right? Because, of course, what are you guys used to? You'd mess it up in this case, wouldn't you? Well, no, because he's a footballer. Hey, honestly, it has to be said. And, well, I had to take it back because I said when X was still working, I said, well, I'm going to say it because I've always said it, right? That it's a tough slog that we were all expecting. Well, in the end, Atleti did really well, honestly. Hey, they've been inspired by a guy who doesn't have that DNA, Lukman, and he says, look, forget it. Forget about your past and your stuff. And, well, he gave them that boost. And a boost to actually be able to move on to the next round. Atleti in the semifinals, man. We have to beat Bayern tomorrow. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I don't think they'll get past Arsenal, but, well, Arsenal will get through, of course. But be careful, okay? By the way, the other match, well, PSG has once again steamrolled Liverpool. Ekitike tore his Achilles tendon. Oh, man, he's going to miss the World Cup. 9, 10 months, 11, 12, poor guy. Anyway, I'm going to explain why this isn't a penalty. This isn't a penalty since Fermin already took the shot. And there are Barca guys, Barca fans, who are comparing it to what happened with Mbappe the other day. No, they were asking for a penalty there. And what about this? And what about this? No, excuse me. The situation is terrible, as we're seeing here. The situation is terrible. But Fermin has already taken the shot. Besides, he's already gotten the shot off. And he has his head down. The goalkeeper has to do something with his body, with his presence. What happens is that it's terrible because he hits him with his studs, right? But, man, just because it's this kind of hit with the ball already gone doesn't mean it's going to be a penalty. Of course, in Spain, they call it because we've already seen it. It would favor Barca or if Madrid is involved. Hey, Camavinga with Budimir, remember? No, it's not incidental, so we call it, right? So they're very used to that. But now we're talking about Eric, okay? About Eric Garcia, who they're also complaining about. It's just something it's fascinating. How they make themselves out to be victims of the referees. They're saying the second leg was a scandal. They're not right about any of the plays, about the offside. Let's see, I could look up the plays here, guys, especially because I'm going to take away the image of Fermin. But anyway, you all remember them, right? You all have them in your heads. Eric's push is pretty. There they are with Carlos. Well, look, guys. Look here, we're going to leave it here. You remember it? Like I said, Eric's push is outrageous. What did this guy think he was going to achieve by pushing? Why? Then he tore his shirt, threw it away. I don't know what else. Now he'll talk and say it's a disgrace and all that. Watch out, okay? Jota Jordi too. There's a brutal campaign now. Brutal. With all the pro-Barca media at their disposal to sell. And that's how it will be remembered, even if it's technically by the book, that this was a robbery and that Barca's elimination, that they don't let them win the Champions League. Hey, Eric Garcia is about to push Sorlo. It's not like the other guy just trips, though that could have happened too. It's not just that he tripped like with Juliano Simeone. Cubarsi did his usual I'm cutting in move like he did to Iñaki Williams. But this time, Eric was even clumsier and actually pushed him. Did he have Kunde nearby? Yeah, but Sorlo was heading straight for the goal. It was more of a clear goal-scoring opportunity. It was impossible. Besides, even if he had Kunde next to him, he was far enough away that Sorlo, with just one more touch, could have taken a shot at John Garcia's goal. So they have absolutely no reason at all. Well, I told my son, who said, no, this has killed Barça. I replied, wait, Atletico always gets away with it. With Barça down to 10 and Atletico Madrid with 11, will Barça end up in Atletico's box? And that's what happened. In slight defense of Atletico, even though they are what they are, I'll also say that it's somewhat normal for this to happen. Barça was taking risks, but they actually had some very clear chances afterwards. I don't know about Juliano against Delante with everything. It was a huge chance there involving John Garcia. Where was John Garcia going? By the way, it was before the sending off. I think it was before the sending off, but Atleti had situations there where they could have scored another goal. And of course, Barça, he put Lewandowski, Araujo as a forward. And Araujo also had a sitter. With practically no opposition, it went over the top. And there, well, I thought they were definitely forcing extra time, but in the end, they didn't. Out they go. Another year without winning the Champions League, without even reaching the final, obviously. Last year, they were stopped in the semifinals. It's incredible. I mean, it's amazing to have to say it because that's how it is. Because the last three have been like that. And I think the last three and the only three times, if I remember correctly, that Barça and Atlético de Madrid have faced each other in the Champions League, Atleti has won. 2014, 2016, in 2026. Crazy, right? Impressive. That you have to say that Atletico is your nemesis in the Champions League. Your nemesis. Atletico, who hasn't won a single Champions League, who has as many Champions Leagues as Mojirusa. Maybe I'll have to eat my words if this year they go and win it, right? But I don't think so. But yeah, Atletico is your nemesis. And another thing, Barça doesn't make comebacks in Europe without Aitekin. Not a chance. Not a chance. You need an Aitekin and Turpin or Turpan. Look, I'm going to call him Turpin because it rhymes with Aitequin. He's not Aitequin. He's not Aitequin. And you don't have UNICEF on your jersey. Here, things are different. And you can complain as much as you want. Here, the refereeing is fair. But well, what we're going to have to listen to in the next few hours, I'm not going to have to make a video in the middle of the night too. Well, if I do, I'll just schedule it for tomorrow in Spain, early morning in the United States, that's for sure. About what all these people are going to complain about and about how things are going for us. They're going to try to sell that story. Oh, another thing I have written down here. We can't see it here because what's next? Twitter is next, if Twitter is still around. Tough, right? No, not anymore. Wait. We might discover things here. Wait. By the way, look here. We have tomorrow's big hope. Madrid's hope for tomorrow. And next to him is Mbappe. I hope you remind me of this later. I'm trying to do a little bit of a reverse jinx there. Well, we'll talk about Madrid and Bayern later. We're talking about, this embarrassment about the review time. We'll talk about it in the next video. Otherwise, we're mixing up too many things here. Hold on, there should be some images here of what I'm talking about. I'm doing this as a fake live stream, okay? Well, Jota Jordi is asking for this to be a penalty. Jose Alvarez, UEFA, the wild boar, he ruined the tie. It's awful, shameful, and regrettable. He said this a while ago. He says, hold on. Just a moment. Let's see. I want to see about this one. I want to see this one. I wanted to see this because something happened here, even if it's small. Right, guys? Not sure if I can enlarge it. Give me a second. I don't think I can enlarge it. Yes. There it is. There, John Garcia grabs the ball outside the box. Of course, it's not reviewable, even though the referee stayed there for a while listening to the earpiece. The word pinganillo sounds really bad in Spanish-speaking Latin America. You'll have to forgive me, guys, especially in Cuba, man. Because when I started working on TV, in Spain, we call it pinganillo. So I would say, and then the diminutive is pinga. Hey, give me the pinga, whatever. Yeah. Ana Cobos and I had to stop saying it because, of course, we had Cuban camera operators. They were all Cuban there at BN Sports. They were shocked, right? They'd say, what is he saying, man? What's he saying, man? That's outrageous. Well, anyway, back to my point. He's grabbing the ball. Look, grabbing. Another expression. He's holding the ball outside the box. Dude. But I insist, the referee can't intervene here because, of course, that wouldn't be a red card. It would be a yellow card. And it's not reviewable by VAR. But he messed up there. And then another one. I think there's a back pass from Jong to John Garcia. In a Llorente chance in the last minutes, he clearly passes it to him. And at first I thought it hit John Garcia's foot, but I think it hit his hand. But they've only replayed it once and very sneakily. And of course, at that point, we don't know. But well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because what we all wanted to happen has happened. But yes, Atlético can complain about this too, you know? I mean, no. Oh, and another thing, a wonderful thing. Hey, they've just invented it now, which is that when there's a football player who suffered a wound and is bleeding, the broadcast shows it. We've seen it. That Rogeri guy from Atleti, because of a challenge by Gabby, by the way. I didn't even see the foul. Look, I didn't see it. My son told me no because it happened there, and I only saw the player bleeding afterward because I was making dinner and couldn't watch it. But I don't think it was a red card. They were asking for a yellow, and I think they ended up giving Gabby one. Well, the point is, that's it. The player was bleeding. Oh, that's new on television. Tears were falling from my eyes, partly for them, poor things, but also because I thought, look, this can be done. Turns out it can be done. It's not forbidden, right? Anyway, Europe, the Champions League, that's something else, because the rest is the filthy Negrera league that the ref buyers are going to win. We could even laugh our heads off at them, really laugh our heads off, saying, where do you think you're going with a 12th straight season? Yes, 12th consecutive season without winning the Champions League. Where do you think you're going, you poor little things? But of course, since they don't win the league because we throw away the league, that's why they have to beat Bayern. They have to advance to the next round. Then they have to face Luis Enrique and his Paris Saint-Germain. Oh my goodness. I mean, it's impossible. It's in ancient Mandarin Chinese. But what if they do? What if they do? By the way, the prophecy, year 2016, is it going to happen? Is the prophecy guy with the toothpick in his mouth going to say, I told you? This happened in the quarterfinals of the 2015-2016 season, the year Madrid won the Champions League against Atleti. But well, let's not get carried away or start patting ourselves on the back, because maybe tomorrow we'll be the ones they're laughing at, right? But no one can take this good moment away from us. See you in the next one. Hope everything goes well for you. Thank you very much for being there. Goodbye.